In this video, we're going to start Chapter 7 and begin with Activity 7-2, Exploring DNS with DNS Manager. Now, before we jump into the activity, this is the first activity in this chapter, which means in Hyper-V Manager, we want to come in to each of our virtual machines and select it down under checkpoints, right-click the initial config, and click Apply. Do that for server DC1, DM1, DM2, Hyper-V, and SA1. As an example, if I choose Hyper-V, server Hyper-V, I can go ahead and right-click on initial config, apply, and then apply, and that will take our systems back to the beginning of the class. I've already done that on all of my machines, and so we are good to go. So I'm going to go and log in to server DC1, so Control-Alt-Delete to log in. I'll see I'm logging in as AZ800 administrator, password of password 01. Once Server Manager opens up, we're going to go into our DNS Management console. So Tools and DNS. Now, one of the things I want to make sure I am aware of with some of the quirkiness of Microsoft tools, the instructions in the lab say we want to right-click on server DC1. However, if I right-click on server DC1, we will see that there is a lot of stuff that is grayed out. What I actually want to do is I want to left-click on server DC1, and then when I right-click, things will be available. Just pay attention to that as we move forward to make sure that things are available at the right time. So we want to look through our forward lookup zones. So on the left hand, I could do that either here on the left hand side using the arrows here to branch out, or on the right hand side, I can double click forward lookup zones. Here we see our existing domain, az800.corp, as well as _msdcs.az800.corp. Right click on server DC1, and we can view its properties. And here we can view the various properties for the DNS server itself, such as forwarders. If there is nowhere, if we don't know a specific record, where would we go to find that information? Right now, there are no forwarders, which is by design. We just wanted to make sure that that's the way it is. If there was a forwarder, we would select it. Click Edit, select the individual forwarders, and then up here, click Delete, and then finally OK and OK. I'm going to click Cancel and Cancel, just to make sure I don't make any actual changes. If we open up the az800.corp domain, we will see all the various records for our domain, such as the names, the type of record, the IP address or other information associated with those records, and the timestamps for those records. Records that are created dynamically, such as DM1 and DM2, do have a timestamp. Something that was created manually is oftentimes listed as static and does not have a timestamp. One of the things we'll notice here, same as parent folder. This is essentially saying that the name is the same as the parent folder. Well, the parent folder is over here, az800.corp, which means the record name itself is az800.corp. If we dig into server DC1, go ahead and double click on this. We'll see, first off, this is a host or a record. The host name, server DC1. The fully qualified or FQDN is server DC1.az800.corp, and the IP address is right here. If we make any changes to this, we can also check the update associated pointer record, and then when we say OK, any pointer records will be created or updated as necessary. If we click on the security tab, we will see security permissions similar to our file permissions, which we use to assign and grant access to different files, as well as the ability to modify files. So same thing here. These are the users who can create and modify and delete this record. Going to go ahead and click cancel, just so I don't make any changes to that. Next, I want to view a more advanced portion of DNS. So in DNS Manager, I'm going to come up to View and choose Advanced. This will take me to an advanced view, and I can immediately see one of the things that was added was cached lookups. If I branch out cached lookups, I will see root. When I branch that out again, I will see there's ARPA, COM, info, net, org. I'm going to go ahead and branch open COM. And we will see there's lots of different domains, such as, let's see, Microsoft. So all the Microsoft.com domain records are right here. And if I click on that, I will see some aliases, such as go.microsoft.com, which is then referenced to go.microsoft.com.edgekey.net. So we can start to see some of the information having to deal with the cached lookups in the environment. Yeah. Additionally, if I go back up to COM, we will see lots of various servers here. These are all the name servers that we are using to be able to find .com records. That's handy. One of the things we might have to do with DNS is clear out its cache. By default, it will try to cache or keep track of all the records that it has done in the past, and occasionally we may need to clear that out. So I'm going to right-click on cached lookups and say clear cache. You'll notice that all the records disappear, and they're slowly adding back in just by general searching. Not only does the DNS server cache its results, but so does the individual clients. So on this machine, I'm going to say ipconfig/flush DNS, which is going to delete the local cache as well. Lastly, with all of that done, I'm going to come down here to my search, and I'm actually going to type in https://www.microsoft.com. This should open up Microsoft Edge and browse to Microsoft.com. Probably going to prompt me for a lot of welcome for the first time. And there we are, Microsoft.com. When I close this browser, now we can go back to our DNS, and I will still on cached lookups. I'm going to click refresh. And we see, yep, there's root. And then I click on that. And now we can see all the other records that are now cached because we just browsed to them in one form or another. Inside of COM, we now have some Amazon, some AWS, some Azure. And let's go to Microsoft. And eventually our www record that we were just looking at. And that is the end of the activity. That's the end of our Exploring DNS Manager.